Hello, Ivy here. This week's podcast is the fourth part of our series looking at non-profits who applied and were successful in grant funding. So, Responsible Tech Youth Power Fund. The two non-profits this week are Design It For Us and Cyber Collective. Episode 108. Introduction. In this podcast, the fourth, as I said, in the series, we are looking at non-profit organisations who are successful in securing grant funding to help with their research and development of various forms of technology and the safety concerns for people using such systems in the future. We'll start off with Design For Us. On the website, there are a number of straplines running across the screen on various tabs, and one that caught my eye on the first page says, "We are young people taking on big tech." Underneath that, there are a series of photos of young people, each holding up a little sign saying "Design It For Us," and then their name. On the website and also in the article, because I've made each of those images live, you can click on the photo and the link is there and will take you straight through to the story of why that particular person in that photo, their area of concern regarding technology. It's very, very good. I've put the images in the slides for the podcast, but in the article, and also if you go directly to the website, you can click on each image and get information about their particular concern, which I thought was very, very good to do. A good way without having to put all the information on the screen, because there's a lot, believe me, in this particular non-profit. And so, yes, you get the image, click on the image, and there's a story there behind it. In the article, there is a large image, a green square as it happens, and it's headed up called Stating the Problem. And it says, "Big tech has addicted, exploited and undermined our generation. We deserve online platforms and social media that respect our privacy, safety and well-being." Underneath that interactive button, there is a heading that says, "Share your story." And underneath that, it has got, "We are young people who have lived and experienced the harms of online platforms and social media. We are a generation lost to big tech's addictive, exploitive, and dangerous designs." Earlier, the first image referred to the problem. Here, this one says, "The solution." We are sounding the alarm by sharing our stories and championing the call for change by advocating for policy for safer social media and online platforms for kids, teens, and young adults. There is a Take Action button with some headings underneath, subheadings. We advocate for policy for safer social media and online platforms for kids, teens and young adults. Building on the success of our previous campaign for the unanimous passage of the bipartisan California Age-Appropriate Design Code, we're kicking off the Design It For Us coalition in support of similar legislation in other states and looking forward to endorsing federal legislation in the future. A little bit of information about endorsed legislation in relation to the California Age-Appropriate Design Code, the background to it. Unanimously passed by the California State Legislature and signed into law in September 2022, the California Age-Appropriate Design Code AADC for short, is a landmark bipartisan law to protect kids online by design and by default. The AADC is first of its kind legislation giving children high privacy for their personal data and instructing companies to change features that use data to expose children to risks and intrusion. The California AADC was inspired by the UK's AADC, which has already produced significant changes from big tech companies to protect kids online, including Instagram will no longer allow unknown adults to direct message under 18s. TikTok users under the age of 16 will have the account set to private by default. Google will stop targeted advertising to under 18s, taking children out of the business model. They have also introduced Safe Search by default. YouTube will remove autoplay to prevent children being fed endless videos. The California AADC goes into effect in 2024. The legislation has already inspired similar legislation in states across the country. This next one is under consideration as opposed to being passed as the previous one was. This one is the Maryland Age Appropriate Design Code. Background. Introduced by delegates Jared Solomon and C.T. Wilson and Senators Chris West and Benjamin Kramer, the bipartisan Maryland Age Appropriate Design Code, AADC, is a privacy framework that brings a product safety approach to the internet, ensuring that, like cribs and seatbelts, the online products our children and teens use every day are safe by design. Inspired by successful AADC legislation in the United Kingdom and California, the Maryland AADC is a chance for Maryland to lead the nation in protecting kids online by design and by default. The AADC would require online platforms likely accessed by kids under the age of 18 in Maryland to meet key design standards to protect their safety and privacy, including requiring online platforms that children can access to be designed by default for their protection, maintaining a high level of privacy settings by default, providing easily accessible reporting tools for privacy and inappropriate behaviour concerns, prohibiting covered platforms from collecting and retaining any personal information for users under the age of 18 that is unnecessary for the provided service. There are a few examples of various age-appropriate design codes for different areas. I haven't gone into detail in terms of this podcast. In the article, I've put a few more details around these examples, but there are many, many more on the website, either have been passed already or under consideration. So in the article, you will see the Minnesota Age-Appropriate Design Code, which is under consideration, and it gives you the background and the names of the people involved in setting it up. There is a Nevada Age-Appropriate Design Code, similar. It gives you the names of the teams and what the framework is and the bullet points of what they're asking for. California Age-Appropriate Design Code was passed, as we know. And as I said, the others are listed. There's a long list of them with a lot of detail around each of the codes that they've put forward. There's no point in me reading through all of those. I've read through a couple and I've listed some on the article, in the article, but you will get the idea of how they're set up, what the framework is, the wording that is used, and the particular details that they're looking to change or to make sure are safe in the future. Really, really interesting and actually quite reassuring that there are a group of people out there young people taking on big tech, as they say, and they are big tech organisations. So well done to them, and this is just the start. About Design It For Us. In 2022, youth-led organisations, Log Off and Technically Politics came together to create the Design It For Us campaign in support of bipartisan California Age-Appropriate Design Code, AADC. Design It For Us was an innovative multimedia effort for young people to share why online spaces should be designed for them. The campaign elevated youth voices and secured the unanimous passage of the California AADC, the most significant tech accountability bill to pass anywhere in the United States this century. Building on the success of the youth-led campaign, Design It For Us has grown into a youth-led coalition to advocate for safer online platforms and social media. The new, first-of-its-kind Design It For Us coalition aims to drive and achieve key policy reforms to protect kids, teens, and young adults online through the mobilisation of youth activists, leaders, and voices. The youth-led coalition is led by 2 co-chairs and a core team of young people between the age of 18 and 26. The coalition is supported by an array of youth activists, youth-led organisations, and advisors. The core team. Co-chair, Emma Lembeck. Emma, co-chair, is a 20-year-old youth digital advocate. As a senior in high school, Lembeck founded Log Off, a youth movement dedicated to uplifting and empowering youth to tackle the complexities of social media and its impact on their privacy, safety, and mental health. Her efforts have been covered by numerous media outlets, including the New York Times, 60 Minutes, CBS, MTV, NPR, The Hill, and Bloomberg. In February 2023, Emma became one of the first young people to testify before Congress regarding tech policy. Zaman Qureshi. Zaman is a policy advisor and social media coordinator for the Real Facebook Oversight Board and an activist and advocate for safer social media for teenagers and young people. Zaman has written for Time, Slate, Tech Policy Press, and Byline Times, has appeared on MSNBC and Marketplace, NPR, and has been featured in CNN, Reuters, Newsweek, Forbes, Business Insider, Gizmodo, Engadget, and The Washington Post. Zaman is the first young person to successfully FOIA the SEC and will be the first young person to sue the Commission. He is pursuing a BA in International Studies and Political Science at American University. This next one is a name that you will recognise from previous podcasts on people who have been successful in securing funding. Thanasi Delos. Thanasi is 20 years old and is co-founder of Civics Unplugged, a non-partisan social enterprise whose mission is to empower future leaders with the training, funding, and community they need to become civic innovators. Civics Unplugged has graduated over 3,000 civic innovation fellows and moved over $400,000 to support youth-led social change projects across the United States. Thanasi is also a partner at Gotham Labs, an impact venture studio. He is a National Geographic explorer and innovator in residence at Project Liberty. Ariel Geismar, content creator, digital wellness advocate and leader in student organising. Ariel's organising has reached areas around mental health, technology ethics and LGBTQ+ rights. Named Teen Vogue's 21 Under 21, she has been featured in the New York Times, MTV, CNN and more. As a creator, she makes content on mental health and has partnered on social issue campaigns with Tom's and Patagonia. She served on Biden's transition team, advising on the youth mental health crisis, and is currently George Washington University's Student Association President. Sam Heiner is a 20-year-old student and is a co-founder and the executive director of the Young People's Alliance. The Young People's Alliance is a national youth movement that spawned out of a need for better youth representation in politics. Primarily based in North Carolina, Sam attends UNC Chapel Hill and leads youth-centered advocacy initiatives on colleges' campuses throughout the NC, in the NC General Assembly and in the US Congress. Next up, Emmy Kim is a 19-year-old college student from Los Angeles, California, and the head of PR and director of legislative efforts at the Log Off movement. Emmy has operated as the leading youth advocate for California's age-appropriate design code. She has been published in the Sacramento Bee, and her work has been covered by leading media outlets like CBS and CNN. Emmy testified in 2022 in front of the California State Legislature in support of the California Age-Appropriate Design Code, one of the youngest individuals to testify before the body in its history. Sanaya Ravanur. Sanaya is an 18-year-old leader committed to asking critical, big-picture questions about the future of innovation. In July 2020, she founded Encode Justice, an international youth-powered organisation building a movement for human-centred artificial intelligence. Encode Justice now includes over 600 high school and college students across over 40 US states and 25 countries. Sanaya has worked with stakeholders and audiences at the White House, US Department of Education, Federal Trade Commission, and the United Nations. I think you will agree that this team is very impressive, and as you will discover over the coming weeks, many of them are leaders of other groups that have also secured funding, and together they are forming, if you like, a really large coalition, as well as their specialisms within their own groups. Really, really impressive, and potentially the impact is huge. There is a section on the website about press releases. Lots of them, really, again, interesting things. So many examples on the website, but as a summary, every press release shown states something important. These young people who are members of these 26 organisations are far from shy and very much are prepared to take on whoever and make their points about young people's safety online, and to hold the large technical corporations to be held responsible for various key measurables. This is just one headline from one press release. All of them from this year. All of them powerful statements, and corporations will be held to account. To see these young people putting their ideas and learning into practice and holding court in front of elected officials and large corporations is impressive. The groups that I have researched so far are fearless and intend to make measurable, impactful change. I have noticed some of the same names appearing on groups, as I said, from different non-profits who have been awarded grants. They are all gaining more experience in these areas, and they are sharing their expertise with each other. I don't know yet if that is the case with all of the 26, but that certainly marches the way Archwell Foundation operates. Organisations come on board in some way to work on a project, and then over time we see some of them come together on something where more than one organisation has experience or skills or both on a particular topic. It felt good as I was making notes when I came across a name that I knew I had come across in recent weeks, and to search and find them as being members of another non-profit part of the 26. It started to make even more logical sense. I suspect that those organisations like Archwell who came together to donate funds for this work on a range of technical development to begin, I would not be surprised some of those foundations joining forces again on similar areas of work. The non-profits are already finding out that by coming together on certain areas of skill and or experience on a shared interest in technological safety moving forward for the sake of the vulnerable users in the future, it is like a mirror image of a way of working and sharing a variety of resources to ensure the outcome is the desired outcome. I feel privileged to get to know a little bit about each group in their embryonic stages, and to see the pace of development already is so encouraging. Responsible Technology, you brought together the right group of foundations, and they in turn have chosen fantastic ambassadors for their respective groups and lead bodies to nurture this enthusiasm and talent for the wider good. So impressive all round at every level of involvement. To bring this part of the podcast to a close in terms of the first group, let's just have a look at an overview of Design It For Us and their coalition about kids online safety. Design It For Us Coalition Kids Online Safety Act overview. Who is Design It For Us? Design It For Us is a youth-led coalition that advocates for safer online platforms and social media. Our new coalition aims to drive and achieve key policy reforms to protect kids, teens and young adults online through the mobilisation of youth activists, leaders and voices. The problem. Young people are concerned about the addictiveness of social media, unchecked algorithms pushing kids and teens into rabbit holes, and dangerous content promoting eating disorders and suicide. The Surgeon General has been sounding the alarm about the youth mental health crisis fuelled by social media and algorithms. But as digital natives, we live in a fully online world. Our social life, the content we consume, the games we play, and even the friends we make happen on social media. We experience both the harms and benefits of social media and online platforms, and we know firsthand that the status quo is not sustainable. What do young people think? We understand this is a nuanced position. We believe that regulation is urgently needed to protect young people by design and prevent the algorithmic proliferation of harmful content in order to allow us to reap the benefits of these platforms. Banning us from the platforms is not the answer, but one thing we all agree on is that these platforms have, in some way, harmed us or our friends and family. The Kids Online Safety Act creates a duty of care for social media platforms, requiring companies by law to prevent and mitigate content that promotes suicidal behaviours, eating disorders, substance use, sexual exploitation, advertisements for tobacco and alcohol, and more. Requires social media platforms to provide children and adolescents with options to protect their information, disable addictive product features, and opt out of algorithmic recommendations. Platforms are required to enable the strongest settings by default. Gives parents new tools to help support their children and provide them with a dedicated reporting channel to raise issues, such as harassment or threats, on the platforms. The Kids Online Safety Act is a start. It is not a silver bullet. More needs to be done to hold big tech accountable and protect kids and teens online. Design It For Us supports other measures like COPPA2, the Kids Privacy Act, and at the state level, the age-appropriate design codes. Zaman Qureshi, Emma Lembeck, Alison Rice, Zaman, at designforus.org. There are some contact details here. I won't read out the others, but there's a list of them, of some of those team members that I referred to earlier on. If you wish to know any more information, or if there's anything that you want to offer in terms of things that you have come across and your thoughts on this topic. Let's have a look now at our second non-profit, Cyber Collective. This section starts off with company news. Meghan and Harry called. Cyber Collective is thrilled to announce that we have been selected to join the first ever cohort of the 26 youth-led organisations to receive funding from the Responsible Technology Youth Power Fund, to empower us to advance our advocacy and drive positive change in technology. In the article, you will see a link to a 2.5 minutes thereabouts video of Harry and Meghan speaking to some of the 26. The link is there on the website. You can go straight through to the video. You will see it, as I said, via the article, but on the slides for the podcast, it's just a picture of Harry and Meghan holding a phone in conversation with one of the organisations. And the following few lines are quotes from the People magazine. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry surprise fund recipient with a call and a really sweet message. Prince Harry and Meghan had warm wishes for some of the Responsible Technology Youth Power Fund grantees, who they shocked with phone calls. Direct quote. Meghan and Prince Harry are connecting with young people, making the digital world a better place. In a new video released the previous Wednesday, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex surprised some recipients of the first ever Responsible Tech Youth Power Fund grants with phone calls. And there's a quote from Tazan Khan, founder and CEO of Cyber Collective. They congratulated me They said they were really proud of the work that we're doing here at Cyber Collective. Megan also asked Tazeen to pass along a message to her dad, who was an inspiration behind the organisation. She said, "Tell Baba I say hi," which was really sweet, Tazeen said. The impetus of me starting this organisation, one of the reasons was because my dad got hacked. When I was able to share that story, I think that maybe it resonated with them, and they congratulated me. When I told my dad, he was just so excited about it. Sam Heiner, Executive Director of the Young People's Alliance Education Fund, tells people of his phone call with Prince Harry and Meghan. "What I appreciated is that sometimes it feels like that we're not recognised for the advocacy we do as young people. I really appreciated that they saw the importance of the work that we were doing and were speaking to the importance of young people getting engaged in the democratic process." More broadly, connecting it back to how important it is for our democracy that young people are engaged, because if our next generation doesn't get engaged, then we're going to have serious issues as we start to move into leadership positions as a generation, he added. In the video, the Duke of Sussex thanked Sanaya Ravenier of Encode Justice for helping make the world a better place, and referenced his kids, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. "Thank you for doing everything that you do. Our kids especially are incredibly grateful," Prince Harry said. Then Meghan joined in with a laugh and said, "They don't know it yet, but they will." Vision and values of Cyber Collective. Our intention is to ensure all people's safety and needs are prioritised by the next generation of technology leaders and builders. Build collective awareness of how technology affects individuals and their communities, both online and offline. As a woman of colour owned and operated organisation, it is not only our passion but our best interest to centre impacted communities in our efforts. We were founded in 2019 in response to a family member's experience of being hacked online. And then we took on new life in 2020 when we learned that Black Lives Matter protesters were being tracked and targeted on social media. We know that technology users have misconceptions about the tools they use every day, and very few understand how their data can dictate their future. We aim to empower individuals, particularly those who are marginalised, with the necessary understanding to navigate the digital world safely and effectively, by equipping them with the knowledge and tools to comprehend and mitigate risks. We strive to dismantle the barriers that hinder their ability to fully participate in and benefit from technology. Educate people about how to better protect themselves through online privacy and cyber security. In today's world, technology plays a much larger role than simply providing entertainment or convenience. It has become an integral part of our identity and the way we interact with the world. However, along with its benefits, we have also witnessed the negative impacts it can have. From social media inequalities that amplify certain voices over others, to issues in healthcare and personal finance, technology has highlighted various inequities and challenges. As an organisation, it is important to confront those challenges head-on. By doing so, we can empower individuals and communities to navigate the digital world more confidently, mitigate the negative consequences, and harness the transformative potential of technology for the betterment of society as a whole. Together, we can achieve our goal: 1 million people become more safe, secure, and confident online in 2023. Our values. Creating change is hard without the right values in place. Having strong values is crucial for a successful impact organisation. Values like safety, education, open dialogue, creation and evolution provide a guiding framework for making meaningful change and ensuring positive impact in the long term. They help maintain a clear focus, drive decision making, and foster a culture of continuous improvement and adaptability. Safety. At Cyber Collective, we foster educational environments that value diversity and inclusivity. Everyone's contributions, experiences, and perspectives are seen, heard, respected, and valued. Our mission is to promote data literacy by breaking down barriers and ensuring equal access to education for all. Embracing diverse viewpoints drives innovative solutions and responsible decision-making in a data-driven world. Together, we can build a brighter future where data literacy and inclusivity creates positive change. Join us on this transformative journey of learning, sharing, and growing together. Education. At Cyber Collective, we passionately believe in making education accessible to all. Our mission is to create opportunities for self-education and group learning that prioritise a non-technical approach to complex technical information. We understand that not everyone comes from a technical background, so we ensure our data literacy initiatives are inclusive and comprehensible to diverse learners. Through interactive resources and workshops, we foster an environment where curiosity is encouraged and knowledge is shared without intimidation. By prioritising accessibility, we empower individuals to confidently navigate the data-driven world. Together, we aim to bridge the gap between technical and non-technical. Individuals creating a collaborative community that thrives on mutual understanding. Join us on this transformative journey of learning, and let's build a future where data literacy becomes attainable for all, driving positive change in the digital era. Open dialogue. At Cyber Collective, we cherish open and honest conversations about our identities, how they influence our relationship with technology, and the importance of feeling safe both online and offline. We recognise the significance of each individual's experiences and perspectives, and encourage dialogue to deepen understanding. In our safe and inclusive spaces, we address the complexities of technology's impact on our lives, discussing the risks and benefits candidly. By sharing insights, we empower one another to navigate the digital realm with confidence and mindfulness. Our ultimate vision is to build a supportive community that values respect, empathy, and safety in all online and offline interactions. Together, we strive for a future where technology enriches lives, fostering positive connections and empowering individuals to thrive in the digital world. Creation. At Cyber Collective, we strongly believe in the freedom of expression. We recognise that our ideas and perspectives to be prioritised in shaping the future of technology, we must actively insert ourselves into the creative process. Embracing diversity, we create an inclusive space where all voices can contribute and influence technological advancements. Our mission is to empower individuals to actively engage in shaping technology's direction, ensuring it aligns with global needs and aspirations by fostering collaboration and valuing diverse input. We drive innovation that resonates with and benefits the entire community. Together, we are agents of change, working towards an inclusive, tech-driven future that reflects the richness of human experiences and aspirations. Let's unite and build a world where technology serves as a force for positive transformation, lifting every individual along the way. And finally, in this particular section, evolution. At Cyber Collective, we advocate for a slower, deliberate approach to tackling systemic issues in the tech industry. We believe in the power of small, incremental ideas applied consistently over time. Rather than seeking rapid change, we prioritise laying a strong foundation through continuous learning and collaboration. By viewing small steps as stepping stones, we navigate challenges systematically, avoiding overwhelming hurdles. This patient and persistent mindset fosters a culture of adaptability and responsible progress. Embracing a holistic perspective, we aim to inspire the tech industry to adopt a deliberate and sustainable approach, contributing to a resilient and inclusive tech landscape. On the slides, and also in the article, you will see photos of all of the team, their job title, their age, and you also see board members, similar photographs, details about them. I'm not going to read through those now. There's no point. I said they're on the slides, and all of those images and information are in the article for you to access as and when you wish to look up something or go on the website. Here are really the closing remarks now to bring this podcast to an end. In February, Archwell announced its participation in the Youth Power Fund as part of the Foundation's ongoing commitment to the future of technology and its impact on society. Making the digital world a better place is a key focus of the public work of the Archwell Foundation, which the Duke and Duchess of Sussex launched in 2020, shortly after stepping back from their roles as senior working royals. The organisation is named for the Greek word meaning source of action, which also was the basis for Prince Archie's name. Prince Harry and Meghan's Archwell Foundation, is a founding member of the Responsible Technology Youth Power Fund, a philanthropic initiative dedicated to supporting youth and intergenerational-led organisations shaping the future of the responsible technology movement earlier this year. The fund raised $2 million to distribute via grants to eligible public charities, making today's tech ecosystem a more inclusive and equitable place, according to the Responsible Tech Youth Power Fund's About page. At the Archwell Foundation, our core purpose is quite simply to do good. We meet the moment by showing up, taking action, and using our unparalleled spotlight to uplift and unite communities, both local and global, online and offline. Art Wealth About page states, baked into all that we do is the core belief that our collective well-being and mental health are paramount. Our three main pillars of focus are to build a better world online, to restore trust in information, and above all, to uplift communities. That is the end of this week's podcast. I hope you found that informative, interesting. I certainly felt those things and also inspired. Very, very impressed by the people that I researched and their organisations, and beginning to see over the last couple of weeks the crossover between some of those organisations coming together, sharing expertise and working on things jointly. And as I said, that mirrors very much what organisations who came on board with the Artwell Foundation, focusing on specific projects, then started to come together on projects that appeared afterwards, joining the expertise. So in some ways, I'm not surprised because it's mirroring what are the real basic elements of the Artwell Foundation. But I was just so inspired as I was going through the notes, writing things down and recognising certain names. And then as more names were coming up that I'd come across previously, it feels good. I am looking forward to going through all of the sessions that I've got lined up, which the last one is in the middle of November, because by then I think a lot of those things are going to come together, where you will see joint working, you will see crossovers, you will see communications between. And I just can only see good coming from this. The outcomes already, the kind of people and organisations that these young organisations, young people are interacting with, canvassing, sort of giving their speeches, persuading, giving out information. It's really, really good to see. Very inspiring. I am really looking forward to researching all 26, and I'm sure I will revisit that again in months to come. So, as per usual, I look forward to your comments on this and the others, and as time goes by, I'm sure we'll have joint talks about a number of them coming through, and certainly the last podcast in the series is a summary of the whole lot. So I'm looking forward to that, looking forward to what you think over the next few weeks as well. Look forward to your comments after the podcast and during the week, and I shall speak to you soon. So it's goodbye from me, goodbye from Ivy, bye.